Yeah, good morning, friends. Today, welcome to the Spark programming session. Today is the part 4, and we are just going to discuss about uh, the continuation of the Spark RDD. In the last session, we have discussed about Spark RDD, and we'll see how we can do the use the functions of transform function as well as action functions, and we'll do some programs on the same on Scala as well as Python. So now we will just move. Let me just complete it. One part is left for the Spark programming RDD, that is case class. Apart from that, we have covered almost all the topics, and after that, this one is the program. If those have missed it out, so let me just brief this program. Basically, we read what we will do. We'll just read a file. We'll read. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, let's people has been joining. Let's wait for a few minutes. Then we'll just cover this. Let's just wait for. 5 minutes. Then we'll start the today's session. That's fine. So I think let me just check on the screen. We are just waiting one more people, and then we'll start. Till that, let me just set up the system so that okay. So let's start with the continuation part of our Spark RDD. I think those who have not joined, they will join in the middle of the session. Let's continue with the Spark RDD part. So in the previous sessions, what we have discussed that we have file and we are reading it, and now we will do the same thing, but the objective is we will convert the schema. If you understand the schema, so let me just brief you about the schema part. Schema means, for example, if you have a file, and in that file you are saving uh, name of the student, roll number of students, and marks of the student. So the schema for that file is name, marks, and roll number. This is schema of the uh, let me just take a marker, and I'm just highlighting it. We'll discuss about schema. we'll just take the schema. Schema here is we have name, another one is roll number, and I'm saying like marks. If I'm considering these things, and for the same I have created a file, and the created file contains these three things, name A, B, C, D, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 90, 92, 97, and 98, like this, complete. So what we need to do, we need to just read this one stored in a file. This information is stored in a file. So objective is we will read this from the file, reading from file, reading from file, and after that we will so this schema is fixed. So why I'll just take a roll number, a name, roll number, marks. What I'll do, I'll just directly map the schema to the our case class. So we will create a case class. We'll create a case class. So case class is nothing. I think case class. Let me just case class. So when we are doing this Scala part, so we discuss. I'll explain about the case class. What exactly the case class is. So in the today's session, we will do the case class same that we discussed in the Scala session. Same we'll do with the Spark. And in today's session, what we'll do, we'll create a case class. It can be the nested case class, it can be the simple case class. So what we'll do start from the simple case class and then proceed it to the nested case class. So this one is the simple case class that I'm explaining right now. So in this case class, we have the data, and we will map this data to the uh, to work class. So let's start how we can do that. So first of all, we will read this file. How we will read this file? So I think my screen is visible. It's let me just check on my another laptop in case it's visible or not. I think it's properly visible. Yeah, that's fine. Uh, yeah, it's properly visible. Now what we will do, we have first let me just create a class that having the for the same I need to just, what I can do, I can just open another terminal. It will be better so that I can just create a duplicate for the same. Okay. This one. So let me just enlarge the same as well. So I'm just going to create a class for student. txt. In this file, I told you earlier, I'm just keeping the name. A is the name, this one is the roll number, and this one is the marks. Same way, B, roll number 2, it's 92 like this, something. C, 3, it's 98. B, 4, okay. So our objective is to explain the concept. The file, you can consider it big or small. It's up to you. So now what we will do, we will just say, we will create a class. So how we'll create a class? First of all, let me just open this part. We are creating a case class. So how we can creating a case class? To create a case class, we have case, and after that we have class, and student. The name of the class is student. Okay. So now in this class we have first, if you will see here, catch student. First one is the name. So name is what type? I am saying name is of string. Another one is roll number. Roll number is of type int. So I am specifying int. And another one is marks. Marks is of which type? That is of int type. So by applying this, when I am executing this, what it do? It will create the class. So the class that I am just going to create, that case class, is the definition class of my schema. It's a definition class of my schema, and we will use this schema in our program to map the structure. So let's start how we can map the structure with the same. So now we'll try to load the file. We have in the last session, we'll read a file. So we'll pick the syntax from there. And another thing is the path of the file, where the path of the file resides. So let me just copy the path and student.txt. This is the path. Okay. So from here, what we will do, we will read the file and store the file, and when we reading the file in Spark, it will be automatically converted into the RDD. So this function sc.text file read the file and return the RDD string of that files. Now what we have to do, we have to map we have to map the same, and tell which column is defining which string. So let me do one thing first. We will create a student is equal to, and after that we have here the object of, okay, I just kept it line note map, and now objective is to based on split based on, this is the separator type in our file. So if you will see here, if I am just displaying you, we have a separator, that is comma separator. So the objective is we just want to split the file with the help of the comma operator. So this statement will split the file, split the line. First it read the first line and split that line with the help of the comma operator. So each and every statement will be split. So when we split this line, so what we'll do, let me just do it part by part. So now I will go from here the mapped RDD. Let me just print and show you so that it will be, the visibility will be clear. Split dot for each dot x, and after that I am just going to print ln x. if you will see here, what it do, it will just print the basically it's a map. So what I need to do, I need to just print here key and value. Okay, it's a for each loop. Okay, I need to collect here the object now. Stu split. If you will see, basically this is the key value pair map, so I need to collect it. So if you'll see, if I'm collecting the data, so I have the first row. This is first row. Okay. Okay, I think someone has given me the comment that whatever the code I am writing, that will be visible after writing. Okay, so let me just visualize the same as well in my another laptop. Is it okay? So now what I'm trying to see, I think C is correct. Okay, so objective is when we are reading the file, the line by line it will be displayed, but in the first line it will be an array of strings. uh, Another line is array of string, another line is array of string. So now what our objective is, we need to map the same with the help of with our case class. So how we can map the same with the with our case class? Let's map the same. How we can do, we just take the, I'm just taking the stu mapper object, and after that stu split dot map. And now we have here, what we will do, we'll create an object x, and x employs. Now if you remember, we create an object of student. We have student, whatever the data of this e of 0, because this is an array, will mapped to the student first object, and that is a string type. Okay, fine. Another one is e of 1 is to int, will convert into to int. And the third one is e of 2 dot to int, and we are just closing this. Okay, this object is not mapped so well. Another error is we are taken here, and this student is of capital letters. Okay, now it's fine. So finally, what we achieved here from this statement, the achievement from this statement is we have an array of we have a map that contains an array of objects, and we what we will do, we'll map that objects to our case class. Now we will go to the case class object, where we'll store the data in form of our case class object. Now what we can do the same with the help of the same. We can display, either we can display the all the whatever the records we have. So let me just stu mapper dot collect and press enter. So now what what it say? It's a map. if you will see, if you go at the top of here and try to be just find out what it's trying to say. It's trying to say the executor exception in task 1 in stage 0, the array bound of exception. So why it's giving so? Let me check my case class first. What is our case class? What is the structure of the case class? Is it first one is string, another one is integer, and another one is integer. Okay, that's fine. What we can do, we can just copy the same in a file as well, so that it will be easy to visualize in. So we will created a case class. After creating the case class, I think it will be okay. So what we have done, after that we are reading a file. Let's copy the read statement of the file. We'll read this file and paste it here. After reading, after this case class, we have mapped and split the line. So we'll split the line with the help of this statement. Then onwards, we'll display the splitted contents. So whatever the content we have done, and we'll collect the data. Sorry, with the help, this statement will not work. So we will. This statement will work, but it will print the object. So I don't want to be display the objects. So now at finally, what we will do, we will map this object to this one, and this one is well. Okay, so till now I think everything will be clear. So here is student, and okay, so let me just copy this and student. So what we'll do, we'll just copy all these lines, line of statement, and execute it one after the another. I'm just pasting here. First it executing this, it will collecting why it giving the error, split dot map. Okay, okay, fine. I'll forget to correct that error. Let me just correct it. I'm just re-executing the whole statement again. Okay, so if you will see, first in first statement we have the case, we have the student class, and in next one we are reading it, we are splitting it, we are collecting the splitted result, and finally whatever the splitted we have, we are mapping to the uh, object of string 1. String e of 1 is converted to into, and into like this. And now finally, when we are just collecting this mapper class, C or E C T connect. So it will throw an error, and the object, why it's a error, what the meaning of this error is, the array out of bound exception at index 1. So it means it's not able to convert this statement. So let initial level, let me just remove this part. I think will be okay. So if I'm just trying to remove this, so let me just put it here trim. uh, After trimming the same, I need to convert into the to int. I need to do here same dot trim, remove the white spaces, and then do the to int. So here, why it's giving error? There is out of exception, apache.org. Let's go upwards. Okay, so it's not able to collect that data into what we need to do. We need to, after converting it, we need to convert into 2df. 2df is basically what to do now. If you will see, let's just hold for 1 minute. Now it's converted into data frame, and if you will see the package here also, the package name is sql.dataframe. So that is not the RDD, that is data frame. So that data frame is from SQL. What we can do, we can create the case class, we'll convert it, and then after dump into the SQL or whatever the database, NoSQL database is anywhere. So the case class objective here is get the data from the file, convert into a data frame, and then dump into the DB and other whatever the format structure is. So basically we are just going to start Spark SQL. So we will do the same in the Spark SQL. So I think you understand about how we can map our custom class or our case class with the help of the data frame, and convert the same into the data frame, not RDD. It's a data frame. Sorry, it's my fault. I missed that part. Uh, the basically case class will return, when we map the case class, the object will return the data frame, not the RDD. So we are just going to discuss about the data frames. So our today's session will be more focused on the data frame. So now let's understand the difference between the data frame as well as RDD. So RDD is the lower bottom object of the Spark, and over top of it we have the data frame. So data frame, we can convert a data frame into RDD. So if you want to do like this, so we can convert the data frame into RDD. So let's first do this part, and then we will. So what we are trying to do, we read a file, convert it, and now we convert this mapper class to RDD. So finally now we'll get the RDD, and now stu well res dot, now we are printing it collect. It's written the same error. So what we'll do, I need to register this into a table, and then I need to convert the same. Okay, so okay, got it. So we can do one thing, we will just we'll just map this. We have this data frame. Now well, this student class, student df, it's a data frame. Okay, we will do its stu mapper, spelling mistake, mapper dot register template temp table, and I'm saying I have the table name is test, like this, and press enter here. So basically what we have done, we have whatever the data first will map into the data frame, and data frame into the register into the temp table. And now how we can get the result? Student stu is equal to, we have an object here. The object is, we can directly run the command sql and select a star from studf, select star from, what's the name of the class, test, and press enter here. Okay, we need the spark context for the same as well. So have we created the spark context here at the top? I don't think we have created. So what we need to do, introduce the spark context also. SQL context, spark context is equal to, now we have here org.apache .spark.sql context, and we pass sc here. So it will just return the spark context to us. So now we can use the spark context. Either you can directly implicitly import the spark context as well. So let me just now we have the spark context. So for executing the same, what we need to do, we need to run spark context sql context dot, and after that we need to run the sql command. So here we'll get the table. So how we can display the data frame of now stu dot show, and if I'm run, so why it's show an error? Okay, the reason might be we have not imported one package. So let me just import one package also, sql context sql context dot implicit, and all the functions here. Import sql uh, import sql dot implicit impli cits. Okay, that's correct. Convert data frame to the annotations. Yeah, the syntax is correct. So why it's throwing an error? Okay, might be let me just show the name of the context is, no, that's that's the reason. So implicit okay, spark context, this is not a member of the org.spark context. So why, no, it's a member of the spark context. Let me rerun this. We have registered it successfully, and now we can do one thing. Stu will get the, okay, these are the functions that we have. We can just check it here. And we can execute any one of them. So we just want to show here, we are trying to be run here show function. So show function is also work in this case. So why it's not working? Let's try to find the reason. Basically the error states that There is some driver that file is not loaded, so I think there is some file that I missed it. Give me one couple of minutes. Let me check on my system. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so got it. Okay, fine. I understood the reason, what exactly it is. So let me just recap the things again. First, we need to import org.apache dot spark dot sql dot spark session. We'll do one thing. Let's just copy all these in a file so that it will be easy to be mapped there. So now after that, what we need the spark session from here also. Well, I'm just taking spark is equal to spark session, whatever the class we have imported from the top, spark session dot builder, and from the builder we'll specify the app name. We need to register the app name, so I'm registering the test SQL. This is my app name, and after that I need to config the same here, config some parameters. So config spark dot some. If we don't have the config, so fine, we have no need to specify the config parameters. So right now I don't have. So get or create, it, what it do, it will just return me the spark session. So uh, from here I will receive the spark session. So let me just copy this statement as well, so that in one shot we can rerun the same. So in the next statement, what we will do, we'll import whatever the spark say object we have written, spark dot implicit dot, and whatever the object. So basically, this part is missing, that we have in the this implicit is. Now we will get the spark session for the SQL. Now if we can read directly, for example, if we have a JSON file and we can directly read it and convert it into the data frame. So let's start with the JSON first. So we have here, I'm just going to create a file having json.txt, and in this I have one is name is abc, it's test, like this, and another one is id is whatever this, and converting it like this. So 1 2 3 4, at the end of this I am just putting y 4. Okay, 4 y. I'm just copying the same things, repeated it again like this. Okay, and I'm just for the, it's 4 3, it's 2, and it's 1, 4 y 2 3, like this. Okay, we have created a file. The file name is json.txt and the path will be this. So what I am creating, I'm just creating a data frame spark.read.json. We are reading the JSON file, and what is the path here? Path is whatever the path that will store the file slash json what is json.txt, and now let's close it. So what it do, it just read the reports from the file. Now what we can run here, spark.show. So I think this part, corrupted record strings. Why it's showing corrupted records? Why corrupted record display show? 1 minute. At the end we have put here terminator. Let me just read this file. This might be the reason, because my system don't have SQL installed in my system, and by default Spark will insert the data into Hive. So that can be the reason. Is not null count. Okay, that's a JSON CS file is disallowed when the column includes the internal corrupted record column name underscore is corrupted. Let's see why it's saying show name is corrupted. I'll do one thing. First, let me just check it. So reading this file, yeah, that's the reason. But so finally, basically the reason is it's on the space. Basically, it's a text file, and we need to remove the white spaces. So if you will see, I'm just trying to, why it's showing 2 times. Either we have 2 reports at a time, I don't know. Let's check. Okay, so these are the number of reports that we have right now. So if you will see, the first we will get the record from the in form of the SQL kind of the statement. But now the objective is we just want to convert this data types to some implicit data types. So if we can do like this, we can perform our same our object as well, that we are doing. We can do one thing. We can just go here and df dot print schema will, let's see this, what it show. It will show that id can be null and the name can be string, and the label can be true. That kind of a schema it will be displaying here. And if we want to get only the names only, so what how we can do that, df dot select, and after that it will be name and name dot show. So it will be just displaying me the whatever the name. If I need the IDs here, so I can do here ID. So it will give me the IDs here. If you want to do some kind of the manipulation over the IDs here, append here just like df. So okay, this one is not a column, that's why. Okay, so it will be printing like this. If we want to add something here, so for example this one is an integer, and I am trying to add some value. I'm just like, I just want to try to add some value. So what I need to do here, select after that uh, the ID column, that should be the dynamic right now. So its value is dynamic, and then I can add it. So it can add the number of the values in it. So if I'm just adding 100 in it, so I can directly add it to. So this is the manipulation part, how we can do in here. So same thing we can do with the name as well. So if you just need to put dollar, and after that in double quotes you have to put name and then comma, so it will give the two columns. One is the name and another column is this, that is manipulated column. So if it will show you that at the top of that, it's a manipulation. So if you want to find out the number of the records whose value is greater than 100, so how you can find whose value is greater than 100? So you can directly put it like this. So those records, all the records are greater than 100, so it will be returning as a true and false kind of a thing. So if I'm putting here less, so it will be showing me it's a false. So now what our objective is, now we just want to, whatever the filter operations, we can do the filter as well. So if you want to do, if you can perform filter here, df.filter, and execute this command, so it will return you, it will give you it will give you the result. So right now there is no record is less than this, so I am just manipulating this, whatever the records I am getting, Ola. Now I need to just, we can just put the group by operation here, group by whatever the operations you can now we can group by which, we can group by name. So if I am just group by name here, so group by name dot count, okay, sorry, count, group by name and then count. So it will return the for how many number of records which are grouped by with this. So let's do one thing. In both the files we have the same number of records. So let's just manipulate these records so that it's little bit easy to understand for us. Two tests like this, and I'm just putting here 3, so I can visualize the thing now, but exactly is group by is working or not. Now I have to load the file again. So here I am just loading the file again, and now I am just doing the group by operation. So here I have one record that is of 2 tests, and 21 record that is of 1 txt, and 1 record for 3.txt. So here we'll perform the group by operations here. Now same way, what we can do, we can run the SQL kind of a statement. If you have custom SQL queries, na, you can directly run with the help of the query. But for that you have to create it into the temporary kind of the view. So we have to write here temporary create or replace views. I am saying it's a temp. Okay, so if you will say create temp view, it's not view, it's temp view. So we have created a temporary view here. Now we just want to display the commands SQL queries. SQL query is equal to, now we have spark dot SQL dot select star from temp, whatever the records in this, it will be displayed. So SQL queue dot show. I think this one is the command that we are fetching error earlier. So now after creating the temp view, it will not give you an error. So temp view will just temporary table, it's not saved anywhere inside the high. So same way, if you have some tables, and that you are using globally in your program, so like master tables and all. So what you can do, you can create it as a global table. So global table can be any of the Spark session can be access this. So same way as we have created the temp view, you can create it here the global view as well. So with the help of this create a global, we are creating create or replace temp view, replace this line into the create global temp view. So you can create a global table, and after that you can also run this program. So the next one is how we can so in the beginning of this today's session, what we have done, we have created a case class, and with the help of the case class we have mapped the case class into the data frame, and now data from the data frame we can mapped into the SQL table, and then finally we can execute the queries to fetching the records from it. So that is the objective of this uh, particular statement, or I can say the particular use case. We have what exactly the purpose of the case class to mapping the schema. So that one is the most important part of this, and you can build on the aggregated functions as well. So this we have discussed, whatever the things we have discussed. First one is the Spark session, how we can create the Spark SQL session, and after that we have discussed today regarding the how we can create the data frames, and next we'll discuss how we can run the SQL queries on top of the Spark SQL over Spark, and then we'll see how we can create a we already covered that part. We already see how we can create a temporary view over a data set, and how we can fetch the records from the temporary view, and also the case class as well. So I'll think till then everything will be clear. Or do you have any doubt as of now? So we can do one thing. We can just take a break of 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll proceed with the remaining contents that we have. Okay. So today in today's session, in first half we will cover the SQL, and in SQL after that we'll start the further uh, in the first half means it's right now half an hour we'll take one this session continue this session. In this session we will cover first SQL part. In the second session we'll try to cover up installation part of Hive, and then after we'll save the data whatever that we are seeing in a temporary view into the Hive, Cassandra, and any NoSQL database. So apart from the Cassandra you can take, and then we'll fetch the data from the Cassandra and other things. So we'll just take a break of 5 minutes, and till then if you just want to recap it again you can do that. So let me just open the statements for you, so you can if you just note it down you can note it down, and you can refer the official document as well. So we'll just take break for 5 minutes. Okay, so I think we can continue the session further. Now we just want to I just want to show you one more thing. Let me. Okay, we can plan one thing. You can do the hands-on on the this part, and either we can take your doubt session and whatever the problem set that you are facing while you are executing this. So we can do one thing. We'll meet in the second half, and whatever the doubts and whatever the problems that you have, we'll cover it up. So if let me just open this slide part. So we'll start and we'll cover start basics of the Spark SQL, and we'll continuation of this Spark SQL, and we'll moving for the Spark SQL for the next session as well in the today's second half. So till then, I will request you all, if you are really planning to be working on the Spark, so try to be hands on the Spark. It's not so much typical and things. The things will be easy, but you have to just recap the things and you have to do the practices. So okay, we'll meet in the second half, and then we'll cover this part. Okay, so for the today's session, I'll just wind up the session. In case if you have any doubt in the query, you can write me in the my email ID. Okay, so I'm just closing the session. Okay, bye.